Hello guys, welcome to my channel. I am Rajnikant and today's video we're gonna discuss a popular interview question like final, finally and finalize, right? So if you are under the experience of 0 to 5 years, then definitely you will get this interview question final, finally and finalize, right? So today we'll discuss this topic, and I will cover programming as well, and I will explain what are those stuffs, right? So before moving today's topic, if you have not subscribed my channel yet, please do subscribe it and hit the bell icon to get all the notifications from my side, right? So this is my channel. If you see here, a lot of other videos are there like Git series with command line and Git with IntelliJ IDEA, Spring Boot CRUD application and JUnit, integration test, Mockito, and lot of other uh, programming related videos like logical questions as well, right? So if you are interested, you can explore these videos as well. Okay, so let's start today's topic, that final, finally, finalize, right? So let me open my in this PPT, right? This is nothing but just I have drafted some definition kind of thing. So first, final, right? So final is a keyword. We can use it in variable, class and method. Okay, so final is a keyword. That keyword we can use in variable, class and method. Let's see what it does if we'll make a variable final. Okay, so if we declare a variable as a final, we cannot modify the value once we have assigned, right? Suppose I have declared a variable as a final. Once I have assigned some value to that variable, we cannot change that one, right? So it's a kind of constant, right? Once we have assigned something, we cannot change that one. So I will explain in programming as well how this will gonna happen. Okay, next, if you declare as a class as a final, then we cannot inherit from it, right? Suppose if you declare a class as a final, we cannot extend from that class, right? I will show you in that uh, example, right? Okay, let's move to third one. If you declare a method as a final, then we cannot override that method. Okay, so hope you got it. Now let's move to examples or practical approach. Let me open my IntelliJ IDEA. So already I have created a small application, final, finally, finalize, where I have a class final example and I have a method public void do something. Here it's a main method where I have created this object of the class and calling do something this method. Okay, so let's take a variable final int registration number. Okay, so if you take like this, it will show an error like variable registration number might not have been initialized. So you need to initialize. So that final variable should be initialized. How many ways we can initialize? If it's a non-static, we can initialize directly while declaring that variable here itself, like registration number equal to 456. Other way is that either you can initialize this variable in initialize what is that one, non-static initializer block, or we can initialize in constructor, right? There are three ways we can have this one. So once we have initialized, we are not able to change that value. For example, here I am taking this registration number, and in this method do something method I want to change this one to 789. right? Control S. If you see here, cannot assign a value to final variable registration number, because it's already we have assigned, right? So we cannot modify those variables if you declare as a final. If you run also, it will show that compilation error, right? So ideally, when some constant things are there, we can take those variables as a final, right? Java cannot assign value to the final variable. Just see, it's coming, right? So ideally in real-time project, if you have some constant literals, then we can have final, ideally for queries and other constant values. Okay, that time we can take final. Hope you got a crystal picture that a final variable, right? What are the final variables? Okay, now let's move to final, that keyword applied to a class. Okay, so let me uh, take a class like bank, and let's take is the final. Okay, and let's take another class, some SBI. Okay, then let's extend it from bank. What it is saying, cannot inherit from final com.example.bank. So if a class is final, like here bank, then we cannot extend from that class. If you see, I am extending from bank. So what error it's showing? Cannot inherit from final. Cannot inherit from final com.example.bank. Hope you got it. So if you remove this final from this class, we can see there will be no error. Just see that error gone, right? So we have covered final variable and final class. Now next we need to cover final method. Okay, so already I have bank and SBI. Let me have some method, public void show balance. Okay, one method is there, and let me override this method in SBI because we have extends from bank. So here let me add the red override. Okay, it's overridden. Just see, currently there will be no problem in bank class, that show balance is there, and in SBI we have overridden that show balance. Okay, so now there will be no problem. Let's modify this show balance as final, public final. Done. Now let's go to this SBI. Some red underline, if you'll see, right? So balance cannot override. So balance cannot override in com.example.bank. Overridden method is final. So we cannot override because that method is declared as final, right? So hope you got a crystal clear picture about final variable, final class, and final method. Okay, so let me undo this one. Let me remove this final. Okay, here we go. So we have covered final keyword. Now next, what is that one? Finally, sorry, this finally, right? So finally is a block which is associated with exception handling. So this finally block is associated with exception handling. and irrespective of exception occurred or not, this finally block will execute, right? So let's see. Let's have some example. Let me create a class. Finally example. Okay. Let me take a main method. Public main method I have taken. Let's give a try block and case block and try block, case block, and what is other one? Final finally. Okay, so have some exception here. We'll take exe exception ex. Okay, and let's throw something here. Throw new, or instead of that one, ideally if you'll have int a equal to 10 by 0, so by default it will throw some what exception it will throw, we're gonna see. Okay, so here ex dot print struct trace, I am doing something, so it will print all that struct trace. Arithmetic exception divided by 0 will get, right? So now let's have system dot out dot println finally block. So I have plotted this example for, this is a dummy example for experiment purpose and to explain you the proof of concept, but in real time project some different logics will be there exactly like this try case and finally, but actual business logic, and to support those business logics those stuffs will be there. Okay, now let's run this example. So currently in try block we do have 10 by 0, so this will leads to arithmetic exception divided by 0. Then it will come to case block. So in case blocks we are doing nothing, just printing that struct trace, and then finally block is there, right? So let's see in case of exception that finally block is executed or not. Let me run this example and we're gonna see. If you see java.lang.arithmetic exception divided by 0 and then finally block executed, right? So if exception is occurring, then final block is executing. Now let's see if we do not have any exception. Let me comment out this int a equal to, or else we can have like this int a equal to 10. We are assigning something. It's a dummy example, no? Then let's run this example again. So here I have not done anything, just removed that divided by 0 expression, right? So it will not leads to any exception. Currently there will be no exception, right? So let's run this example and we're gonna see whether that final block is executed or not. Cool. If you'll see, finally block executed. Okay, so irrespective of exception occur or not, finally block will be executed, right? So ideally for cleanup of cleanup logics we can have in finally block. Okay, in real time uh, programming or real time project development, what will place in finally block? All the cleanup logics. Cleanup logics means suppose some exception occurred in your program or in your code, then what you need to do, if you are consuming some resource like a file you are doing a file operation or you are holding a DB connection, then we should release those resources, close the DB connection, close the file operations like that, right? So this is that finally block we have done, right? So I have explained in details. Okay, now let's moving into the next part. What that one? So that is finalize method. right? So let me have that class Finalize example. Good. Let me have a main method, then I will explain. Okay, so let me go to this PPT. So finalize is the method. It's not methods, it's method. Finalize is the method present in object class. Okay, we need to override it and place the cleanup logics. So when the object will be removed by the garbage collector, this method will be executed. Okay, so finalize is a method is present in object class. If you know, object is the super class of all the classes. Okay, so this finalize method is present in object class, right? This is important. Sometimes if you are experienced between 0 to 3 to or 4 years of experience, sometimes people will ask what are the methods present in object class, right? So a lot of methods are there, like toString, wait, notify all, and some other methods are just, you can go through those methods. This is also very important question. Okay, so finalize method is present in object class. So what is that? What exactly this finalize method will do? So we need to override this method in our class so that we can place cleanup logics in the finalize method. Why? If that object will be garbage collected by the garbage collector, then that time this finalize method will be called and it will free up those resources. Okay, so let's see in a practical example. So let's have this finalize some ex equal to, I'm creating some object to demonstrate. Okay, then ex equal to null. I am assigning null so that this ex object will be eligible for garbage collector. Then ex dot system dot gc. So the system actually the system dot gc. So this will call garbage collector, right? System dot gc will be called garbage collector, right? So when exactly this garbage collector will be called, we do not know, right? So here what we have done, we have created a object ex and we are assigning as a null to this object. So this object will be eligible for garbage collected, right? So but we do not know when this will be garbage collected, so explicitly we are calling this garbage collector by system.gc. Okay, now let's have override this method public finalize, public void finalize, I guess, finalize, and here let's have this annotation at the red override. Good. And here system dot out, my bad, system dot out dot println finalize method call. Here we go, Control Alt L to formatting this code. Okay, so what exactly this happening here? Just see, whenever you run this project or this application, first main method will be run. So here we are creating a object ex, then we are assigning null to this reference so that this object will be eligible for garbage collector. Okay, then we are explicitly calling system.gc to call the garbage collector, right? Then this object will be removed by the garbage collector. Then that time this finalize method will be called, right? So let's see, let me run this application. Just see, finalize method called. Are we calling this finalize method anywhere? Are we calling? No, this is called by the garbage collector, right? So hope you got a crystal clear picture. about this finalize, right? So if you have any doubts or any query, you can have those things in comment section. And if this video is really helpful, then provide your valuable comments in the comment section, a appreciate comment or anything. So this will boost my motivation to create such more videos like this, right? So thank you for watching, guys. Have a nice day.